Hello, good morning, students. So today I'll discuss about data manipulation language commands. Okay, so we'll see the insert command and then the delete command. So in the last class, I discussed about how to create the tables. Okay, so once you create the table, you cannot change. The table name becomes fixed. So that means like you cannot create the same table uh, using that same table name again, right? And then we saw the constraints. Okay, different types of constraints that can be fixed onto the table. Okay, like the primary key constraints, not null constraints, so on. And then we saw the alter table commands. Okay, where you can modify the columns. Okay, you can change the data type size, you can add new columns. Okay, so all those were affecting on the original tables. Okay, all those commands affected on the original tables. Then we saw the drop table command. Okay, now here in this data manipulation language, this is data manipulation language means it does some changes to the table contents. Okay, or in such like updation. Okay, so here in the first case, once you create the table, okay, now you have to fill up the table with datas. Okay, so the after using the create the ddl command, create table. Okay, the second step would be to start inserting the values, that is using the dml command. So this is always the second step, okay, after creating the table. So here you use the syntax. Okay, so in the insert into. Okay, so this command adds a new record to the end of an existing database. Okay, so it will enter one row of data at a time, okay, into the table, provided we mention the table name, into which table name. Okay, so the syntax is insert into table name. Which table do you want to insert? Okay, and this is compulsory. Okay, insert into table name, and then within the bracket, within the parenthesis, you mention the column name according to serial order, how you want it to be displayed. Okay, since you have like in this case, if you have created a table here teacher, in this serial order, this is t number, t name, t address, salary. That means the column will come t number, t name, t address, salary, department number, date of joining. Okay, so in the same way, when you're inserting it into the teachers table, okay, the column arrangement should also be, the first column should also be t number, second column should be t name, third column should be t address. So the arrangement of the column while you are inserting, okay, should match with the create table column arrangement. Okay, after that, okay, now in this case, when you're inserting the column name, you do not need to mention the data type or the size. Okay, it needs to be only mentioned when you are creating the table or when you are adding a new column. Okay, once the column is has been created, or once the table has been created, you don't need to mention the data type or the size again and again. The compiler already knows. Okay, so after that, okay, you use these close values. Okay, then within this parenthesis, okay, you start inserting the data within this values bracket. Okay, so you start inserting the data and separated by commas. Okay, so in the case of this example, you can see here, okay, insert into teacher. Okay, so here insert into teacher, that is the table name. Okay, values, and within the parenthesis here, you can see that these are the data values. This is one row of data, this is one row of data inserted into the table teacher. So this is t01 is the t number, this will be inserted into the t number column. Rakesh Sharma will be inserted into t name. Okay, this 245 Malviya Nagar will be inserted into t address. So you can see the serial wise arrangement. Okay, first t number, second t name, third salary address, fourth is salary, fifth is department number, and last is date of joining. Okay, now regarding the date of joining, the date format. Okay, now According to different softwares, it works. The date format is in different. Here it is YYMMDT. Okay, in some it will work as DDMMYY. Okay, so if you're practicing in your system, okay, you for this date format, you can always write, suppose like instead of this format, you can write suppose like 12. Okay, 12, you can use hyphen or slash. Okay, and then the first three alphabets of the month, that is like suppose it is December. Okay, DEC. Okay, 12 DEC, and then hyphen or slash, and then the year in four letters, 2001. Okay, now one thing you'll observe is when you're inserting the data, okay, you will see that here this is character. Okay, so character data can contain alphabets and numbers. So that is why, since it is character or variable character, always remember character or variable character or date data values are always enclosed in single quote, just like C++. Okay, character values or strings are enclosed in single quote or double quotes, like that, right? So here also character is enclosed in, data values are enclosed in single quote, except for numbers. Okay, the number values, it is never enclosed in single quote, because if this salary, this data salary is enclosed in single quote, it becomes a character and there will be a data type mismatch, so that will result in error. Okay, so you can see that Rakesh Sharma, okay, is also enclosed in single quote, and you can see that Rakesh and Sharma, there is a space, blank space between Rakesh and Sharma, but the compiler will not display any error because this is a character. Okay, it is enclosed within this single quote. Okay, and this is also variable character. As you can see that variable character, okay, can hold numbers, okay, special symbols, on also alphabets. Okay, now again, date. So you can see that date can be used for variable character also, because it holds numbers, it holds special characters, and it can hold alphabet also. But like I said, it has its own data type called as date. That's why, okay, so to prevent mistakes, okay, while using variable character, date data type is used. Okay, now this is one format of writing the answer. This is another format. So here you can see that insert into teacher the table name. Okay, here the column names are mentioned first. Okay, all the column names separated by comma, the column names are mentioned here, and then the values, okay, and then the same values are added here. So this will insert one row of data. Okay, this will insert one row of data at a time. So the next time you want to insert the next row, okay, again you have to say insert into teacher values. Suppose the next one is T02. Okay, and the name is um, suppose like John Sharma. Okay, and then the address is different. Okay, the salary is different, so you can make changes like that. Okay, so that way it will affect the original table, it will be inserted into the original table. Okay, now here you are mentioning the column name, here you do not mention the column name. That is okay, the compiler will not display any error. But however, it is always a good programming practice that, okay, when you are in after creating the table, when you're inserting the first value, you always mention the column name. Okay, so that you will not forget the arrangement of the column in order. Okay, because if you start inserting the Rakesh Sharma first after the T01, okay, the the create table format and the insert value format is mismatched, so that means that will result in error. Okay, so that's why always when you're inserting the first row of data, always mention the column name. Okay, if you remember, okay, the column arrangement, you don't need to mention the column name. Okay, but always a good programming practice to mention the column name first. After that, you can start comparing with the column name and start inserting the value. Okay, like T number T01, not Rakesh Sharma. Okay, because if you put Rakesh Sharma first, Rakesh Sharma column row column data is in second column, right? So that will result in error. Okay, so another thing you have to note is the the quotes, the single quotes. Okay, For characters and variable characters and date, it will be always enclosed in single quote, but not for numbers. Okay, not for number. Then one thing again you observe is that, okay, the if you, even if you write down this while you're writing here create table teacher, okay, but if you write here insert into teacher, the teacher in lowercase, okay, or the teacher in small letter, the compiler will not display any error because the table name is not case sensitive, neither is the column name. Okay, in the create table you have written the column name in capital letter. If you write down here insert into teacher in t number or t name in small letter, the compiler will not display any error because the column name is not case sensitive. Only thing is that the column name should be exact. If it is t number here, it should be t and o, not TNUMBER. Okay, otherwise the compiler will not recognize what is TNUMBER. You got it? Then, okay, again you have to remember that date has its own data type. Okay, date. Okay, that's why it will automatically recognize this data value type. Okay, so one thing you have to always remember is that, okay, in case of number, it is not number data, it is not case sensitive, but in terms of alphabets, it is case sensitive. Okay, the column name is not case sensitive, the table name is not case sensitive, only the data values, that is the character data value, is case sensitive. If you write insert while you are inserting the value Rakesh Sharma, you can notice that R is in capital and S is in capital. Now while searching for a query, okay, when you are searching for Rakesh Sharma, if you write R in small letter and S in small letter, the compiler will not detect that Rakesh Sharma R in small letter because in your database it is saved R in capital. Okay, so you have to be very careful when you are searching for queries. Okay, for the data, it should the data alphabetical uppercase lowercase should match. Okay, so that's how you do it. Okay, so regarding SQL, okay, it is this is a practical application. Okay, this practical language. Okay, so along with my teaching, okay, you best type these programs in your system. Okay, and then you check it out yourself. Okay, and try changing the values. Okay, and check out what different errors you can get. Okay, so this is table that will insert one row of data at a time. Okay, one row of data will be inserted like that. Okay, so next you have is the delete command. Okay, now delete command is different from drop table command. Drop table means the entire table will be dropped from the database, the table will cease to exist. Okay, in case of the delete command, okay, you can delete from the table, okay, based on certain condition, that is using the where clause. So this you will see in the next chapter. Okay, so the where clause is always associated with the condition. What is the condition is that that condition will be associated with a column name and then the value associated with that column. Okay, suppose in this case delete from table name. Okay, so delete from teacher. Okay, so delete from the teacher table. Okay, where, okay, suppose where the condition, where uh where, okay, this is the t number, right, the column t and o, okay, equals to, okay, and then within single quote t07. Okay, so in that case what will happen is that this t07, this entire row will be deleted. Okay, so the where clause makes use of condition based on the column name and a data value associated with the column name, so that condition must be true. Okay, if the condition is true, then that row will be deleted. Or suppose like delete from teacher where, okay, t name, okay, t name equals to uh shift om. Okay, and then that shift om will be enclosed in single quote or like that. Okay, so this row will be deleted. Okay, so you try practicing this query also, okay, this command also, and then check the answers. Okay, so that will be all for today. Okay, I hope you have understood the lessons. Okay, and check for more tutorials also.